Hi everybody, I am Thatnursingprof and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a sample care plan. So this is a new series I'm starting, okay? I'll be posting maybe like every other week a new care plan, and it's going to be for a variety of different courses, so not just OB. Today's example is technically an OB example, but the care plan is not going to be specifically for the OB patient. So let's jump into it. So our patient, LB, is a G1P0. She's in active labor. She's 39 weeks and 3 days. And then normally I would write the full head to toe, but we're not focusing on that for this patient, okay? So all assessment findings we're just going to say are normal, okay? So her head to toe is normal, her vitals are normal, all of that. What we're going to focus on for this patient is the fact that she is non-English speaking. So really, this could apply to any situation with a non-English speaking patient. I don't want you to always focus on the reason for admission, okay? So their chief complaint or their medical diagnosis. Not all nursing diagnoses get formed from the medical diagnosis. So that's why I wanted to do this one. So we're going to say everything is perfectly normal with this patient, very normal medical diagnosis, right? So what's the thing that's a little bit different is that she doesn't speak English. So that's our focus for this one. So our first nursing diagnosis is impaired verbal communication related to the language barrier, and then as evidenced by the fact that she doesn't speak English. Our outcomes and goals, so this is the goal statement written here, that the patient will demonstrate understanding of teaching by the end of shift. So that's what we want to do. How are we going to do that? We're not going to teach her English in, 8 hours, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to use an interpreter. So our intervention is to consult a communication specialist, aka an interpreter, as appropriate. And then what's our rationale for choosing this intervention? Interpreters provide more comprehensive communication assistance for those with impaired communication. And then of course I cited that. And then our evaluation, so we can make this up, right? Because this is a pretend patient. Let's say we've met our goal. So the patient was able to demonstrate understanding of teaching, because that's what we wanted, right? By the end of the shift, so within our time frame. And then you can even add a little bit more. How do we know that they were able to understand us? This was evident by the patient following pushing instructions. So we gave them instructions on something, the interpreter said it, they understood it, and then they followed those instructions. This doesn't need to be super complicated, okay? This one's kind of easy, right? So language barrier, so we need to talk to them. What do we want to do? We want them to understand us. How are we going to get them to understand us? Use an interpreter. And then, yes, that worked. Our intervention was successful. Let's do another one. Compromised family coping. So now we're not thinking about the individual as a patient, we're taking the family as a patient. So compromised family coping related to different customs as evidenced by language barrier. So what is our goal? That the family members will state that they feel welcome and safe by the end of the shift. And how are we going to meet that goal? What's our intervention? Determine and respect their values and practices and try to incorporate them as much as possible. So when you're focused on a patient from another culture, try to learn a little bit about their culture. Try to learn a little bit of their customs and what do they do in this situation, okay? And everybody's culture is going to be different, and nobody expects you, the nurse, to know everything about everybody's culture, and nobody is offended if you ask, okay? So just ask. And so our rationale for asking, for trying to learn about their culture and then incorporate that culture, is that the families have different expectations of the healthcare system. and they may avoid participation in care. Asking your patient who is from another country or from a different culture what they do in their culture is really important, okay? Because they're not likely to bring it up. They're not likely to tell you, oh, well, we do this, right? Usually they're shy, they're reserved, and they're just kind of absorbing everything that's going on around them, okay? So actively engaging in them, getting them to participate in the care is going to make them feel more comfortable and more welcome. So when evaluating our intervention, we can say, yes, our goal was met. The family members stated that they did feel welcome and then they participated in the care. Don't forget that nursing is a science and an art. So we're going to have science-based care plans, okay, so like the medical ones based on their medical diagnosis and how they're presenting, and then also the art-based ones, so the communication-based ones. So this is a pretty simple one. It's pretty common. It can be used and, kind of modified for any, situation. Maybe you're taking care of somebody with pneumonia, but then also they have a language barrier. You can still use this care plan for that patient. Okay, so I don't want you to only focus on the illness, right? And then focus all of your care plans on that. Maybe the illness is okay. Maybe the illness is not the priority. Maybe the priority is communication. So that was my video on a care plan for a non-English speaking patient. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And if not, I'll see you in the next one.